Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're enjoying this series of Let's Chat. So today I've got a new topic and it's about how you can grow and evolve as an artist. So I would say personally, I've always been arty and creative since I was a child and I loved all different types of art forms. But I recently fell in love, well I say recently, it's actually been about 5 or 6 years with fluid art. And it's fluid art and abstract art that I'm really loving. And I created my own YouTube channel and started teaching tutorials on there to help share my knowledge about what I learn along the way with various different pouring techniques. But I know that I'm definitely not the artist today that I was 5 years ago. And that's because we all grow and evolve differently. I know that the techniques I used to do aren't as refined as the techniques that I do now. And it's only through doing those techniques that I've been able to grow as an artist. Sure, I have made many mistakes, and actually, as an artist on YouTube, I don't always share those mistakes, but they're definitely lessons learned that's made me a better artist that I am today. Sometimes it's about having that self-belief, really believing yourself, taking that deep breath and taking a leap of faith, pushing your boundaries, breaking down those barriers, trying completely new techniques. I remember many years ago, I hadn't really tried the Dutch pour and I was fascinated by the Dutch pour. I loved how you could create different shapes and patterns and designs organically with just paint and water and blowing it out with a hairdryer. So let me just share a really quick story. So when I started the Dutch pour, I mixed all my paints up, followed different instructions. So I was in just one of my rooms in my home and I'd mixed all my paints up. I had all my canvas ready on a table and I turned on my blow dryer, full speed, and the paint just went everywhere. Up the walls, on the floors, over me, even though I do try and keep a clean black t-shirt. And it was at that point that I thought, I'm never gonna get to grips with this. Oh my goodness, I've created such a mess. This isn't what it looked like on the video that I was watching. But it was through persistence and determination that I really learned different ways of doing it. I learned that the paint mixture and the consistency was key. And I learned that the base coat that I had on my canvas was also key to having that flow of paint over the top. And that the hairdryer really needed to be on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed. But it's through those times that we make, I would say, those times where it doesn't go quite right, where we really learn about that technique. And if we didn't have that, then we wouldn't be able to learn, grow and evolve. And one thing that I would say is once we've mastered a technique or we're getting good at it, we kind of forget to kind of step out of our comfort zone. So that's why on my channel, I try and do various techniques. I'm not going to say that I'm the best at them, but I kind of share my knowledge and share how I've grown and evolved as an artist. And it's about stepping outside your comfort zone and trying something new. So whether it's a technique or a colour palette or a tool that you're using, I would say to really grow and evolve as an artist, try and step out of your safe zone, try and step out and push those boundaries even further, because sometimes those hardest times when we're really learning and really trying to be patient and trying to get to grips with a certain technique or colour palette, that's when we're really pushing ourselves and we're really evolving as an artist. Because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it, right? So learning those new things really can help you evolve. And that growth will come through lessons learnt, improving your skills, improving your experience, and not becoming stale or uninspired. By learning new things, pushing your boundaries can really help you stay fresh and inspired as an artist. Something that I've learned as an artist, as I've grown and as I've evolved, is to share the knowledge that I learn. So that's one of my passions, and that's why I do my tutorials on YouTube. I love to share what I learn. I've obviously learned it at some point. I've experimented with it and I've created something. And the biggest gift is being able to inspire somebody else too. So sharing that knowledge and building that community can really have that benefit, not just as an artist, but as a person. And that's how we can really grow. We will come into contact with many different people from many different walks of life. And it's having all of that interaction with the community that can really help you grow and evolve as an artist too. So remember, when you're growing and when you're evolving, it's about having that self-belief and self-acceptance. It's about looking at problems and having experiments and thinking about solutions to those problems. So that could be your paint consistency. I know in the early days, I used to have my paint split or my consistencies weren't right. But just by experimenting and problem solving, I worked around those and I kind of mastered those areas. Saying to yourself about having no boundaries. So when you're learning, just think about stepping out just that bit further, pushing yourself that bit further to keep learning. Because if we become stale and stagnant, then we probably become a little bit uninspired. So just allow yourself to push those comfort zones. Don't always stay in your safe space. I think if you've got a creative block, then it's great to go back to something that you're familiar with, a technique that you love, a colour palette that's safe. But I think if you want to really grow and evolve, it's about experimentation and taking those risks. Above all else, it's about that personal expression and that authenticity. So don't forget who you are and the reasons why you became an artist in the first place. The world is definitely a much better place with hundreds and thousands of creative people. And everyone that I meet, I try and champion that creativity in them. I definitely believe there's an artist in everybody. And those people that say that they can't paint, then that's fine. Find a medium and find a technique that you can do, because believe me, immersing yourself in art and creativity can have great benefits to you. Not just because of your creativity, but your mental well-being, your physical well-being too. I've really enjoyed being able to share with you how I've grown and evolved as an artist. Let me know if you can relate. And remember, if there's any topics you'd like me to discuss or for us to have a little bit of a chat with a drink, then drop them in the comments below. I really appreciate each one of you and all of your support. I hope you have a great week, and whatever you're up to creatively, I hope it's going well. See you soon.